In the final equation, the question of the causal linkage between SSRIs and indeed other forms of psychiatric drugs and incidents of violence needs to be taken seriously. There are many factors at play here, from differences in individual reactions to the fact that people who are more likely to commit violent acts in the first place are often the people who are prescribed these drugs. But the threat of violence has been taken seriously enough that the FDA in the US, the Ministry of Health in Japan, and other similar bodies in countries around the world have added a warning in their guidelines for antidepressants. According to the Japanese Ministry of Health, there are cases where we cannot rule out a causal relationship of hostility, anxiety, and sudden acts of violence with the medication. And in the FDA formulation, antidepressant medicines may increase suicidal thoughts or action in some children, teenagers, and young adults within the first few months of treatment. How can it be seen to be a good thing for anyone but the drug manufacturers themselves that these drugs have been on the market for decades, and the bodies in charge of regulating them still can only offer such wishy-washy, non-evidence-based statements? The issue of drug-linked violence is one that we as a society need to start discussing and acting on soon. Otherwise, we will continue to let the status quo be ruled not by doctors or patients or their loved ones, and certainly not by the victims of these mass murders, but by the men in the boardrooms of these pharmaceutical companies who have been shown time and time again to care about nothing other than their own bottom line.
Hold on. So you're telling me that Bayer knew that this drug was infected with the AIDS virus, they yanked it from the market in America, and then they dumped it in markets overseas?
They had to figure out a way, Joe, to make a profit on a product that they could not sell in America. So they made a huge profit. They dropped the product in Japan, Spain, and France. By the way, Joe, government officials in France that allowed that to happen actually had to go to prison for it. In America, not one corporate executive for this company has been indicted or even criminally investigated by our Justice Department.
Why not?
This video is brought to you by the subscribers of BoilingFrogsPost.com. For more information on this and other topics, please go to BoilingFrogsPost.com. For more information and commentary from James Corbett, please go to CorbettReport.com.